I used to laugh at things like law of attraction, what you think is what you create, anything related to energy, you attract who you are, anything of that nature. I used to laugh at because I'm like, that's not true. And then I came across Antonio in his teachings of law of attraction. And at first I rejected it because, again, I used to laugh at these things. And the more and more I listened to Antonio's teachings, the more and more things actually started making sense to me. Things started opening up for me and things started changing for me. The law of attraction teachings that Antonio does have absolutely changed my life, from the way that I parent to the person that I am today, to the way I do business, to the way I live my life. I never knew how important your thoughts and your emotions were, and that you actually attract that. You know, we always say, this is what I want, but what are you attracting deep within you? What vibration are you putting out there? And it took Antonio's teachings for me to be able to understand that, while in my head I'm saying, this is what I want, the vibration that I'm putting out is a complete opposite. Once he taught me that, the next step was to teach me how to vibrate at what I wanted. And once I started vibrating at what I wanted, that's when I noticed just how real the law of attraction is. Antonio has taught me that thoughts plus emotion equal creation, how to vibrate at what you want, how to put yourself where you want to be, to feel it, to smell it, to taste it, to see it, how to touch it. Put yourself there and stay there and vibrate there, and it will come to you. The people that you want to attract into your life, vibrate there. Who are they? How do they look? What do they dress like? What are their characters? Who are they? And the biggest thing that he ever taught me was how to be a better me through law of attraction. I used to ask him, how do I become better? And he was like, you create who you want to be. Because I didn't know at the time where I wanted to be. I just knew I wanted to be better. And he told me exactly how to do it. He said, find the people who you are drawn to. Find those who are where you want to be. And start moving like they move. Study them. What I didn't realize was he was teaching me how to attract my future self. And in the process of doing that, even attract being able to associate with these people, be on the same level with them, be in the same atmosphere and network with them. And I have actually had the opportunities to start moving in that direction because he taught me how to attract that into my life. And learning the law of attraction through Antonio has truly changed my life. It has truly changed my success. It has truly changed who I am today. And while I am not perfect in the law of attraction, staying on top of and consistently listening to Antonio's teachings remind me every day to be grateful, to attract that into my life, to only focus on the outcome and attract only the outcome in my life, and don't get stuck in the how and the why. Just focus on the finish line, and I'll attract the finish line into my life. The law of attraction has made me a greater person. I know it will do the same for you.
See, won't get you out of place for. This world will repeat lessons to you over and over and over and over until you get it. You keep bumping against the same problem until you get it. It's just the way it works. It's not going to work any differently. It is a universal law. Until you learn, you're going to repeat the lesson. That's just the way it works. If Your feelings are your primary source of communication with your inner being. That's it. But you lie to yourselves. You're a bunch of liars, like everybody else. Those who are successful have learned how not to lie to themselves as much. And when they do lie to themselves, it is for prosperity. So when them losers in themselves pop up, those losers say, oh, you can't do it. And they lie to themselves and say, yes, I can.
That's a prosperity lie.
That's a prosperity lie. Everybody else, and by everybody else, I mean average people. By average people, I mean 90% of the world. You lie to yourself. You're not honest with yourself. You're just not. You're not honest with yourself, so you spend all this time. When you're average, when you're not honest with yourself, when you put yourself at a 90 percentile, the 90 percentile, which 90% of the people you have to compete with, it's a lot of people. And then there's people like me, since it's a bunch of you, that say, hey, since I got so many options, this is what I'm going to pay you. Pause. Let that process. It's a bunch of you. You're going to take $850. You fight that. You're going to take $850. Oh, you don't? It's cool. Thank you. You're dismissed. Next. Because the line is around you. The corner, down the street, and in the middle of the city. I got plenty of the gene pool is full. Oh, there's a lot of fish in this pond. That's when you average. When you average, people tell you what you're worth. But none of you were born average. You conform to being average. You just flat out conform. You conform to being average. And you think that's okay. It's not okay, because that's what you do. Because you're lying to yourself and you're not in your feelings, or you're in your feelings. And those feelings are never prosperous. There are no mistakes, they're just along the road. You are right where you're supposed to be. 90th time I've said it. I'm going to keep saying it. Now, how many of y'all really believe it? Okay. How many of you believe it this morning? Waking up, you're right where you can't believe that because you said not this morning. You can believe it now. Okay, so this one we'll talk about. I didn't think about it. Okay, now think about this for a second. You say I didn't think about it. All right, what did you feel about it?
Good. If I woke up, I felt good.
Okay, but when adversity hit, what did you feel about it? Okay, so then one of these is true. When adversity hit, when you didn't have a practiced behavior, when your instincts were forced to jump out, when something didn't meet your demands or your expectations or your presentation for yourself, the real you came out. So that's how you feel.
Feeling, seeing the real me more than I want to.
There you go. That's how you feel.
For 2 weeks, I've been feeling that frustration in the real me.
Okay, so what did I just say? This universe will repeat the lesson. It will repeat the lesson until you get it. Until you get it. That's the real you. Yeah, I say, how many of you feel good? Of course you feel good, because ain't nothing happened. Of course you feel good.
Because you I throw myself off.
And that's the real you. That's your real feelings. When the slightest bit of anything happens and you react, that's when your practice behavior doesn't have time to kick in. Your auto suggestion is. Your auto suggestion is the real you. That practice you is not the real you. That practice you is not the real you. How you behave under pressure when you don't have time to think. I run up on you and I slap you. You ain't got time to do no practice behavior. whatever's in you, is going to get hit back.
I be like,
Whatever is in you, whatever is in you is going to come out you. If I just right in your head, you're not going to be able to say, wait a minute, I read in the book that I should feel, felt, found. You know what? I know you slapped me. I felt that way before. I found that, this behavior is unacceptable. No, I feel that way before. I know how you feel. I felt that way before. Here's what I found. If we just, now you don't do all that.
No.
You gonna slap me back.
can we just talk about this for a minute?
Okay. So when I asked y'all earlier, so if I slap you, you're saying, I'm not telling you, you could be right.
I don't know what my reaction would be.
Okay.
I know what
So let's find out what your reaction would be. Because maybe being slapped is not your problem.
Like for real, I don't know what my reaction would be.
The good thing is I can tell you what your reaction is going to be by making you tell me what your reaction is going to be. So being slapped is not a problem. Sounds like it's a problem for him.
No.
Okay, definitely a problem from him. That's the problem for me. Laugh. I wish your mother would around there.
What?
See, it's not a problem for me either.
Okay, not a problem for you.
Yes,
You've been there before. It's all good. Not a problem for you. So let's find out the problem for you and find out how you will behave. You come home and you come home. Look, you come home and you're being totally disrespected. You had a good day. You're being totally disrespected at home. I mean, by everybody. By the fish, the dogs, the kids, the wife, the water heater, everything is just out of control. Do you stay happy? Don't lie. Well, you can lie if you want to. It'll be a longer road.
No, I was thinking more like frustrated, maybe. Like frustration. I wouldn't be happy. I'd be like frustrated and like more of like a panic mode. Like what's going on? How can I fix it? Or what can I do?
No problem. Let's go deeper. And you can't fix it, and we ain't trying to hit it. What do you do next? You've done all your learned behaviors. That's what you hear. Everything you said was learned behavior. Okay, what's the problem? How can I fix it? Got it. Stonewall. What happens next? Okay, all right, punch a wall. That's the real you, sir.
Well, I was being real.
Okay, that's the real you. That's the real you.
I'm gonna show hold the real of him.
But watch it. The real you don't mind getting hit, but the real you will inflict hit on other people or other things or whatever. You get it? You don't mind being hit, but you are most certainly the aggressor. That's your own answer.
Okay. I'm helping me. I'm like,
you get it? Now, I'm not saying you're hitting people. I'm just saying that you have to release with anger to feel better. Those are your words. Yeah, those are your words.
You just helped me because it was like a couple of weeks ago. I tried something at work, and my total idea was, okay, I go to work, I'm not going to talk to anyone, I'm going to just get in my mode and I'm going to focus on what I have to do. But it didn't help me because I ended up being more mad and feeling like didn't nobody want to talk to me or tell me nothing. And it made me,
it made you mad.
Crazy though, because I put myself, you know what I mean? I did that to myself because I was like, well, man, I just want to focus. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to make friends.
Right.
I just want to focus on work, and that's it. But then when I realized I got so upset with that, and man, I literally want to quit my job and everything. I'm like, man, I want to quit. I want to put my 2 weeks notice because I'm just. But it's crazy. I had to force myself to that, and like it was a dangerous place to be for me. So I had to realize, okay, I can't be like that. I had to be open. So once I went to work and I started being back me and talking and laughing and you know what I'm saying. I felt better, but bro, when I put myself in that isolation for that time,
Okay,
like,
that's where I was going to go next.
I was more like a volcano.
Isolation.
Erupted, like, bro.
Hey,
I erupted.
remember, there are no mistakes. That's the only thing we talk about. There are no mistakes. Just longer roads to get to where you're trying to go. Isolation is one of the longest roads. What's your favorite food? Just any one. I don't care which one you pick. Which part of seafood? Okay, what if it was one fish?
No, seriously.
In the whole world, what if it was one fish? Wouldn't that be a problem? Make
Look, you see the man that's all people here. Like,
Okay.
But it's so crazy.
Look,
Like,
I'm about
fold
to fight
people.
you for your business.
But when you said that, my auto suggested, like you said, y'all taught me about auto suggesting again. Yeah. And
So that's how I get you.
when you said it, my auto suggestion kicked in, and it was like, well, is it a whole fish? Can I cut it up? You know what I'm saying? I started going into the mode of, okay, I understand. I know what he's getting at. One fish. But
Asking the question.
is it one fish that I can cut up? Is it just one little piece? Like I just started.
I'm not sharing. Don't cut it up.
You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to figure out. Okay. Like
So clearly you know how to deal in lack. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know how to make some food stretch.
right. Okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
But did you see? I haven't even brought out the economical implications of having one fish. The whole. There were people in Thailand. I mean, there would be countries that live off the fish economy. That was just. But then forget that the ecosystem. Fish eat stuff in the water that we don't need. We would be poisoned. You understand what I'm saying? We would be absolutely poisoned if it was not for fish. Just well, we have oxygen, but we have no fresh water, so we'd be dead. The world would be an uninhabitable place. Plus millions of other things, because somebody didn't isolate themselves. I hope you know that's where I was going the whole time. Because somebody done isolated themselves.
Isolated itself.
One fish.
What he said was you isolate yourself.
That you become
create
one fish.
Mad problems for the entire world.
The whole world.
And people are dying.
Look, I'm mad at you
Listen.
now.
Like, people are dying because you isolate yourself.
That's what I just did. That's what I just did. What I just did was prove that when you isolate yourself, it's equally as dangerous as one fish.
And it was so real because, bro, just for that moment, just for that moment of that, because I had never done public isolation. It was always I isolate myself by myself to myself. You know, even if there's people around, I still.
Okay, wait a minute.
But once I did
This
it
is
public,
but you can't do that. It's a long road.
Oh, okay.
Remember, every time y'all go on a long road, I'm interrupting and tell you for this exercise. What's long road? That's when you ain't doing nothing wrong, because ain't no mistakes. It is when you align yourself or deciding, oh, let me take a longer road to get to my supreme destiny. You just try to justify levels of isolation.
Just not.
Yes. You be like, oh man, listen, I got the group isolation, or I got no.
Isolation is isolation.
How is it not? It's ISO.
Right.
As in one.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Take ISO in the group.
Just because this whole universe is, what if there was one cure for measles? Just one. Wow. What if you had one 1 grain and a half. When you had 1 tooth, you wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to eat meat.
So you're giving context to my LRT.
Okay, well, there you go. You wouldn't be able to eat. You had 1 eye. You wouldn't be able to have the depth perception. The reason you have depth perception, that means you're able to see distance and spatial recognition because you got 2 eyes. They compare and contrast. Cover one.
So that's why there's a shift when you cover one.
Yes, because your 2 eyes are creating the 3D world that you get to see.
Wait a minute. If I cover one eye, I still get 3D world.
You still get 3D world when you cover 1 eye.
But it's limited.
But and also know that most of that 3D world is inside your head because you know what this room looks like. Now watch this here. I'm not telling you couldn't see because your retina, is allowing has other stuff to make you see 3D world. But go out there and try to jump and dunk a basketball or run track or do triple jump with 1 eye. You will be thrown off. You won't have that depth perception. I'm not telling you won't have some form of it, but it won't be what you think. Stand up right now. Put your hands out. Stand on 1 foot. You'll keep your balance. Close your eyes. You'll lose it. If you do this right now.
Rejecting? Are you testing it? Or,
Yeah.
Is that
Now
rejection?
close your eyes. It's going to be much harder. It's much harder. The moment you close your eyes, your brain.
Because you don't know what's around.
I mean, I know exactly what I know neuroscience. The moment you close your eyes, your brain loses this spatial continuity.
That's a form of meditation.
I'm just trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you nothing in this world.
So I want isolation
You can come
to
to
my
that.
own.
Center yourself.
You can only ever bring lack to your own self.
I
The
embody
universe will
myself
never
in
give
it.
you lack.
I
So,
embody
so
myself.
you just gave us something. You just gave us another rabbit trail to follow. Pay attention. I'm trying to prove to you, nature don't isolate nothing.
Right.
It just
Nature doesn't isolate anything. That's what you said.
not to survive, to die, but not to survive.
Only time I was isolated.
To survive, no. The evolution made us group together. We found out as cavemen, if we come together, we can survive against these bigger animals. Your brain is far older than you. It is evolved to be a unit in unity with one another. Period. We are here as a species because we came together. We were saber-tooth tigers, all sorts of stuff that were coming against us as a species. And then when we said, you know what, we need the warriors to protect. We are brilliant people. Yes, this world is full of brilliant people because we are brilliant. With maybe 10%, that's debatable, of our brain power. We build skyscrapers and the internet and iPhones. Elephants have not evolved to build buildings. Roaches been here longer than us, and they ain't got Wi-Fi. No, roaches ain't. Nuclear bomb is gonna be roaches. That's for sure. Now he sent us. What was that you said? Lack. He said. So I brought the isolation on myself. Yes, you brought the isolation on yourself.
You created it.
Because the only way lack is gonna exist is when man created it. And the only way you get to have lack is when you allow it. Nobody put lack on you. You have to say, this is the way it is. And you allow it. You accept lack in your reality. You accept not to pay attention. You accept to go to sleep in class. You accept. You
I know I
accept
did. I did.
all these things that don't work out for you. That's all you do. And none of it serving you.
You've accepted that.
Okay,
Wow, that's great.
so check this out. There are no mistakes. Just longer roads. Just longer roads.
That's gonna be something excellent. That might be my let's talk about
It needs to be.
Are you on the long road?
That's a
That's
key
it.
for
It needs to
something,
be.
man.
It needs to be.
God,
It's only
So
longer
how do
roads.
you, so once again,
The
how do
road
you
should
tell
not
the
be
difference between?
Your feelings. The question was, how do you tell the difference between the two? Your feelings.
you feel good?
If you feel good, you're on a shorter road to your destiny. Whatever that may be, whatever it is you create, that you want, that you're deliberately creating, that you want. You feel bad? And here's the crazy part. Now, go ahead.
No, because I'm thinking of enjoy the journey is different than the long road, obviously. People always say enjoy the journey and they think that they're going through this because it's their journey, but they're actually creating it, the long road themselves.
Yes. You created everything. Everything in your life you have created.
So when they say enjoy the journey, it's talking about the feelings.
Yes,
Enjoy,
because
be
until you
happy.
enjoy the journey, you can't shorten the trip.
Quote that.
Wait.
If you want to enjoy the journey, it's more like saying
To enjoy the journey.
Until you enjoy the journey,
Right.
you can't shorten the trip.
So that's more like saying you.
Until you
When I get the house, I'll be happy. But if you're not happy already, you won't be happy. when you get
You
the
never go get the house
Right.
until you enjoy the hard process
Mhm.
it takes to fix your credit or to establish credit,
Mhm.
and then get you a job, and then get financially stable, get your debt ratio together, and let people talk about you for thinking you all that for getting a house, and then keeping up with it, and then saving 25% of your
That's still
income,
doing it.
and then having 6 months reserved, and being a responsible adult, and then getting the furniture first, and then having a budget for the furniture, and then thinking about the curtains you're gonna put on. All this is into a house.
Right. You right.
Until you enjoy that process, you don't shorten the trip to actually get in the house. The more you hate that process, the further that house goes away from you.
Yeah, that makes sense. What the Bible says. Be faithful with few things.
That's it.
I'll make it
Rulers over men. The law of acceleration says, and this is a real law. Law of acceleration says, the more you chase your dreams, the more your dreams also chase you. So you speed up the time. Because as you moving this fast, they moving this fast to you. So you shorten the distance.
But that's only when you see it like that.
It's when you enjoy the process. Until you enjoy the journey, you won't shorten the trip. You will not. The more you hate the journey, the longer that trip will be.
So
you enjoy the journey, you'll never make it a short trip.
So would the first basis to ending the long road is, would it be like for me, would it be finding gratitude outside of isolation?
The one thing you need in this life is gratitude. It's the only thing you need. You don't need anything else. Should you get gratitude, everything else will find you.
But do I like? Because I'm trying to understand it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm here to answer your
I'm
question.
trying to find out, like where is it? Is it inside the isolation cup or is it outside the isolation cup? Because sometimes, at times, I feel safe in the isolation cup.
That's fair. You should
Sometimes I feel, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
there is a time to be in isolation.
Okay.
There's plenty of time to be in
Okay.
isolation. Let me give you a few
I'm
times
trying
to be
to
in
recognize the
isolation.
difference, you know
Should
what
you
I'm
go in the
saying?
restroom and take a number 2, I hope that you are allowed to be in isolation.
Yeah.
That's a one-man job if you're healthy enough for it to be a one-man job. You understand what I'm saying? There are appropriate times to be in isolation.
Okay.
When you in your mother's womb coming out as a baby. I'm not saying it can't be 2 of you in there at once,
Right.
but only one of you need to come out of the womb at a time.
Okay. Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It don't need to be 2 of you trying to come out at one time.
Okay.
You understand?
Right.
This is a great time for isolation.
Okay. So then you find that person. You choose to bring the right person out, or
Do that.
the right person comes out. Either way it goes. Right?
Gratitude. Your gratitude will draw everything to you. Everything you need. Everything you need is gratitude. Everything you need is gratitude will draw everything to you.
So finding it in both places.
You find it everywhere. You find it when it's in the bad. You find it when it's good. You find it in isolation. You find it in groups. Every single thing you need will come through gratification and gratitude.
Okay, because that's a big help to me right there.
You know, it's a big help to
That's
everybody.
one of the things I do a lot is, and sometimes when I go into that isolation state, I bring the negativity with me and not gratitude.
And how can you have?
It's just me sitting there with me and the negativity.
That's fair, man. Who else does that?
I go crazy.
Bring in the negative in isolation.
Once you go into isolation, you bring the negative people.
If you're
You
gonna,
can't take positive into isolation.
not that kind of isolation. Yeah, not that
Now,
kind
use
of
the restroom, okay, you go in there, but anytime you isolate yourself,
Well, going away to
talking all here. I'm talking all here.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Going away to recharge after a long party. That's not isolation. That's isolation to recharge. That's positive.
But to be down and deep in a negative place and go off and continue to be deep and down in negativity is only going to create more deep and down negativity.
Your self-talk
That's what you do in
is where
isolation.
most of your dreams will die.
You see, I'm just learning a lot of this.
No, I'm learning too.
I learned myself that I battle with depression, and I didn't even know what depression was. You know what I mean? And I had to learn that. And like I said, I learned it through the isolation. The as much as I wanted people around me, or wanted to be around people, I shut people out. And I got to a point to where at times the same person that was on isolation had became the same person on the outside. That I just, hey, I'm gonna find a reason to push you away, because at times I just feel like I feel uneasy with who I am already. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm disgusted with, you know what I'm saying, who I even try to be in front of people, because when I go back to the isolation, it's like, all right, this is comfortable for me. This is who I need to be. You know what I'm saying? Because okay, can't nobody hurt me right here. Can't nobody, you know what I'm saying, get right here. Because okay, if I want to be tough, I'm tough. If I want to, you know what I'm saying? If I want,
Well, let me give you a better option. No one can hurt you until you allow them to, no matter where you are. No matter where you are.
I have to learn all that.
Well, no, most people that be watching this wouldn't even accept it, what I just said.
Okay.
You won't even accept that, because he hurt me, she hurt me, it's their fault. You're not taking responsibility for you allowing it.
Yeah, I learned that. Yeah, first.
Well, what if I don't have a choice but to allow it? You have a choice. I'm not telling you that you're not being abused. I'm telling you that you vibrate at the frequency of abuse.
Should you decide?
But this is no longer worthy of you, and something positive is, those people will disappear out of your reality.
What if most of the abuse comes from self? It don't come from you. It's self.
You know why that's the worst thing? Why self-abuse is the worst thing? Because you ain't never alone from yourself.
Right, I'm digging.
Everybody.
No, I'm just learning about. I was listening to Abraham Hicks, and she talks about being lonely. The reason why we're lonely is because we don't have an inner peace. There's no inner happiness, and you're gonna be isolating. You're gonna be isolating yourself because you're not happy with yourself.
That's right, and people are going to avoid you. Anybody of substance is not. I'm not going to hang around with lonely, depressed people. I'm not going to do that.
be the one that someone has to cheer up all the time.
all the time. You never want to be the friend that someone always has to cheer up just to hang
It's kind
around.
of different because I kind of see it kind of different because at times, you know what I mean? At times, I could be the person that you know, I'm cheering up everybody, but
On the road.
you know what I'm saying?
But you're on the long road right now because you're not accepting the data coming your way.
You get it? The data coming your way.
The information coming your way, you're not accepting. I'm not telling you that you're rejecting. You are, but I'm just saying in a far kind of way. You're not accepting. Allow everything. And if you know what you want, you'll only entertain what serves that. If you don't know what you want, allow everything, and if you're happy, the only thing that can actually exist in your reality is what matches your frequency.
You don't reject.
You allow.
You don't reject.
You allow.
That's it.
And then you can decide.
Some stuff you only have to
Decide because it don't vibrate at your frequency, it will just miss you.
You just go with the flow.
Of the ocean.
Oh, yeah. You decided to fight against the current.
There will be times you have to fight against the current, but that's a cliche. You will find the current and its flow, and you'll go do your own thing. You'll take the stream less traveled, which what we call fighting against the current. Oh man, he did his own thing. He fought against the current and became his own man. Okay. Or followed the flow of the stream, saw a path never traveled, and blissfully followed that path.
So inviting and relaxing. And
It's what actually happens.
Yeah.
If you're against something, you're going to multiply what's against you.
Whatever you resist,
Persist.
whatever you're against.
You're going to create more of. I'll give you a great
Well, being
example.
against it?
Yes. Because your energy is fertilizer.
Mm-hmm.
You just putting a little fertilizer on little seeds and whoo, look at that big old healthy plant. So every time you're against what your wife do and you keep letting her know, you're going to get more of that.
oh, yeah, that's like my daughter.
Yeah.
When I was commenting on her attire, her short skirts and her low neckline, and I was against it, and I would comment on it and this. And when I changed it and complimented her, she was like, and then she became more aware of what she was wearing. And actually, we had a conversation just the other day, and she was like, "Mom, you think this is?" She was asking my opinion. You think it's too short? And I, no, not at all. And it's her. I allowed her to wear it, and then she was actually able, like, no, I think it's too short.
Because you ain't resisting it.
I did not resist it.
You're not resisting it. Keep resisting, she's going to be wearing a spaghetti string. I'm going to show you.
And that works
Exactly.
and that works even when you do it to yourself.
What?
Absolutely.
Everything is energy. So when you push at something, you will get more of what you're pushing at. Because you paying, where energy goes, attention flows, what they say. I'd like to say where energy goes, that thing will grow.
Even with kids.
That thing will grow.
Oh, really? And then they go slam the door and come back out and say something else and stomp around and say something.
You come home, you got 5 A's and 2 B's, and mama say, what's this B here? What's this 86 here doing? You got, last one, you need to pick that 86 up. And she didn't see the 5 A's. So what you say is, you know what? I don't even know why I tried. And all the grades go down.
So would that make me wrong for so in parenting, right? I realized that one of my biggest things that held me back a lot of times was my attitude. was the fact that once I get into some of these stubborn moments, and I ain't gonna do it like that.
Now, before you finish, I want you to say, "Held me back all the time."
Held me back.
Not a lot of the time.
Right. Held me back all the time.
Okay,
Right.
it's much better.
Right. My attitude held me back all the time. And it wasn't the good attitude. It was always the downside of my attitude.
Of course.
And one of my biggest things with my kids now, and it's crazy how I went through my kids, and I had to realize, like positive mind, positive attitude. No matter where you go, you know what I mean. I know you gotta go to school, but you also have a job. Your job, love, respect, and focus. Listen to your teacher, positive mind, positive attitude. You know what I'm saying? And I try to enforce that all the time. With my baby girl, she could be the one that really just attitude, and I'm like, ooh, Mark, you see, I don't like that. I don't like your attitude. So it's like,
You know it.
right.
So why don't you, if she doesn't have an attitude, why don't you point that out to her? Say, wow, you're doing really, really good. Or compliment or gives her a positive feedback when she does something positive. Instead of correcting the wrong, embrace the positive.
Because at that moment when she does it, I see that little kid in me doing the same thing. And instead of, I end up doing the same
Stop
thing.
right there. Stop right there. So what are you correcting? Her? Or what you hate in you?
I'm correcting what I hate in me.
And that's all parents who do that. Not just you. Thank you for your transparency. It's all parents who do that. You're not correcting your child. You're correcting what you hate about you. And your child has to pay for it. That's all parents who do it. That is universal. Therapy couch would have said that. It's counseling that would have said that. It's all facts. You're saying, oh, I don't like when I used to do that, or I made this mistake and I hate that I made this mistake, so I'm gonna pound this mistake out of you.
Right. And that's wrong. That is wrong.
Yeah, because your child has to live their life. And then on top of that, your experience has nothing to do with their experience. But yeah,
Their experience had
Nothing to do with mine.
and it doesn't mean you know better. And you damn sure don't know more.
Well, I'm actually learning from them.
No, I'm just saying, your 20 years of, your 40 years of experience as an adult doesn't make you know more than your child. It just gives you 40 years of experience. It doesn't make you know more.
It's just 40 years experience. Children are,
Brilliant.
and most would tell you,
Now, I would tell you, more brilliant than us, because they've grown up more than what we ever had. I'm far smarter than my parents by design, not because they're less intelligent than me. I got Google. I ain't never known a world without a computer. I've never known a world without a computer. The whole time I've been alive, a computer has existed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't know the good old days.
No, you don't know the good old days. Look, I grew up without, look, I remember when we first got our first microwave.
First microwave, we just took the steak and potatoes in the microwave.
No, I
Like
was
time-
in the microwave.
That's how
You have
I
to put
came
about
through.
what went in the microwave. You ain't just put anything in the microwave.
Push button phones. Come on, I remember that. I mean, have
Roller-
you ever
the roller
dialed the wrong number on a rotary dial?
What, you gotta hang it up and start all over
Yes,
back over?
especially, yes.
So you understand.
Don't, and then if you had long nails, you had to use your pencil.
So it's fair to say we's a bit smart.
Oh, man.
It's fair. It's fair to say my 9-year-old boy and my 6-year-old boy are smarter than me. They ain't never known a world without a smartphone. Forget a cell phone.
Oh, yes, for real. They've always had the smartphone.
You sure right.
They've been walking around with supercomputers their whole life. One of the first toys I bought them was some was Toys R Us version of the iPad.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a real Fisher Price one.
VTech.
Yeah, the VTech that actually had little chips that you could buy.
Yeah, the cartridges.
Yeah,
had a little mouse
cartridges
pad
up.
and everything.
Oh, I know.
That's insane. Yeah, you're right. It's the VTech.
It was right before the leapfrog.
That's insane. That's insane. They
My
was
1-year-old
learning.
grandson got that little, like a little play computer and a little play cell phone. Just one.
Okay, one with a play computer, play cell phone. He's been trained right now.
My son, from the moment he came
Yeah, they
out,
smarter.
I got a
from the time he can actually, from the time my son can do
real
anything,
phone. It's real.
he actually had a phone.
Yeah.
Phone and YouTube. And if you see him now, that's
All right, so check it out. Back to the point. The only point that matters. There are no mistakes. There are no mistakes. There's just longer roads that you travel because of your ego, your vibration, your self-esteem, your auto-suggestion, your subconscious, and your desire to be right. Longer road to get to your supreme destiny, whatever that is that you are creating for yourself. Just longer roads. And that's the truth. Every time y'all ever wanted to be right, you ruined some relationship. Every time. Every time you had to be right, you ruined some relationship. Most of us, at the expense of wanting to be right in ourselves, we kill the relationship. And just to be right. And then we say, well, I was right though. And then we
Make ourselves feel better because,
we make ourselves feel better by blaming the person instead of blaming us. See, I knew they was gonna leave. Well, yeah, they was gonna leave because you've been attracted to that the whole time. And you set the stage for them to leave, and then you was right so they could leave, and you wouldn't go be insane, so they had to leave so you can prove yourself right. No mistakes. All that learned behavior that you do, it's good, but it doesn't mean that's what you're vibrating at.
Well, how do we recognize the difference between learned behavior and unlearned behavior?
Sure. Learned behavior is obviously stuff that you've picked up along the way. Don't cuss her out because she cussed you out. Don't hit him back. Okay. Tempest is correcting me. Tony, listen. Okay, this is not a good situation to be in. Leave the mood. Be kind. Volunteer. Open doors for women. Pump gas.
Some of the natural stuff that just learn behavior.
It's just learn behavior. It's good. Learn
Some of them
behavior.
good, some of them bad.
Be respectable at work.
Right.
Answer the phone with a polite voice.
Whoop your kids with a belt.
Shave. Yeah. I was bringing up some stuff. Whoop your kids with a belt. That's a learned behavior.
Okay.
It's not a good one. It's a learned behavior. All that stuff. What you call an unlearned behavior, in the context of this conversation we've been having thus far, because we can say other stuff, but in the context we've been having in this conversation, is what I was saying, it's your instincts, your auto-suggestion. That's what we've been talking about. I can go on a tangent what unlearned behavior is, nature versus nurture argument, but I'll never solve that, because, arguments can happen at any time. But in the context of this conversation, we've been talking about learned behaviors versus auto-suggestion. What you automatically put in your mind that you can only hear me through. You can only hear me through your auto-suggestion. It's in Think and Grow Rich, like chapter 2, I believe. Okay. You only ever going to hear me how you are already predestined to prepare to hear me. And anything like me. And anybody like me. This is why some people can't take criticism. Because they've already suggested to themselves, don't ever let nobody criticize you. So they can't take criticism. Okay. Because they've already said, I'm never going to be wrong.
Right.
That And when somebody says they're wrong, they have to overreact because it's in the art of suggestion. It needs to be retrained. But you can only respond how you told yourself you're going to respond.
Right. Okay.
There's no other way. When this happened, I'm going to do this.
I understand it now.
Okay, good.
I understand it now.
Good.
Because
Good.
it's like, it's crazy when you go from one mind state to a whole totally different to find the awareness of it. Because last year, December 27th, 2017, I decided to change my mindset. And just like you said just now, once I chose to listen to some of the other artists or people, speakers,
Right.
mentors, and now I can understand what you're saying because I hadn't already set myself up to understand it. Correct?
Right, yeah, absolutely. Now check this out. I guess what it. Go see what that is from. So let's check this out. What we do is we remember. Is that for me? Okay. Okay. Come on in. I'm wrapping up a video.
Come on,
What we do is there are no mistakes. And in the no mistakes, this guy here develops apps. Let yourself be seen. Millions of people don't see it. All right. Don't tell them how to reach you.
You can reach me at freshtechsolutions.com with the Z on the end, 713-893-8125.
Hey, he did that pretty good like he did all the time. All right. There are no mistakes. Know it, accept it, receive it. There are only
Longer roads you take.
to get to where you're trying to create.
Period, point blank. It's not.
It's not changing. The way you know you're on the right path is your freaking feelings. It is a contractual obligation, your contractual agreement that you have decided to talk to your inner being with. Hey, this don't feel good. Equals you on the longer road.
This feels great.
Stay here.
Doing pretty good. Make sense?
I have felt so much in life. I've been so evil. I've done everything in life to mess it up. And I have. I have completely messed this life up. And then I changed. And then I started applying things that I didn't know, but I always knew. You call it the law of attraction. Or maybe you don't. Or maybe you're religious and maybe you're not. Here is what I know. I know that we all have a karmic debt to pay off. And I have either paid mine off or almost off. And now I dedicate my entire life to you. Please know that as my life is dedicated to you, it means I get beat up a lot. But that's what it's about. It is about people like me putting their gains at risk for you. The crazy thing about life is once we get enough, whatever enough means, if you're a politician, it's enough votes. Someone likes money, whatever enough is. A pastor, enough members, we tend to protect it. This podcast is not about protection, it is about you. I sincerely believe in you. I know you're going to be it. I know you're going to do it, whatever that is for you. There are no mistakes. I want you to share this podcast, but not for personal gain. I want you to share it because I am giving you my every being so you can turn around and do the same for others. I give away me, and then you give away you. I lower me so you can stand on my shoulders, and then you return the favor and you lower your stuff so someone else will stand on your shoulders, and then voila. No one is lower than the other because we've all lowered ourselves. Finally, the music in this podcast that you're going to hear, I hope it gets stuck in your head. It's actually from my favorite movie, Cloud Atlas. It's a cover. It's not the original version, but it sounds just like it. Cloud Atlas is a great movie by the Wachowskis. My second favorite movie is The Matrix, but that has nothing to do with this right now. It is about repeating the same mistakes. And so I'm hoping subconsciously that as you repeat the same mistakes, Cloud Atlas is mostly about ascending from those mistakes. So I'm hoping the words, the music, the melody, everything helps you ascend to where you're supposed to be, which is where you've always agreed you wanted to be before you got here. I love you. This is the Secret to Success, Law of Attraction. I really, really know that this will be a blessing, a lifesaver to many people. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plan better. You can